Hi and welcome to the second lesson of the CoffeeScript Foundations course of Race Karate. In the last course of Ruby Basics, too many people asked me about our workspace and why we didn't install that in our computers. So I will try to repeat this as well. We are working in a cloud workspace, okay? It's called c9.io and we created a workspace. If you don't know what I am talking about, please go to the first lesson of this course and you will find how to configure your workspace. So I highly recommend you to look back to that video before continue to this with this lesson and the next ones. Okay, so let's start. Here we have our coffee file. I'm going to delete this. I suppose, or I assume that you already did the Ruby Basics course, so you already know what is a variable, what is the concept of variable in a programming language. So we are not going to talk about what is a variable. So let's see how to create a variable in CoffeeScript. It's basically very similar to Ruby. We just say its name and its value. As you can see here, I have the name of this variable is variable and it's equal to 0. And if we go to our JavaScript file, you can see that we have to make more than one step for create a variable. We first have to define it, say var, and then the name, and then say that variable is equal to something. Well, actually, we can say instead of this, we can just say this. But that's what the compiler generated for us. So you will see that things are easier in CoffeeScript. So let's see the rules for name variables. The first rules is that variable can't start with numbers. I can say, for example, one variable. As you can see, it highlights the one. That means this is not going to work. We will have an error if we open this, if we execute this CoffeeScript. So I'm not going to save. What we can do is append numbers after the letters. For example, this. So another rule is that I can't use JavaScript nor CoffeeScript reserved words. If you go to the article of the video, the blog post, here's the blog post of the video, you will see here two links. One of the that we let you see the JavaScript reserved keywords that you can't use as variable names, and CoffeeScript. For example, if I want to name a variable with this reserved word, you will see something here. Let's see. If I name this variable case, you will see I get an error here. The text editor will show me something is not something is wrong. So it's better never use reserved keywords. But I can use, for example, hello case, and this will work. Not use the keyword alone for name variables, okay? The next rule is that variables can't use symbols different to the $sign. I can name a variable using $sign. I can also use underscores and the AT symbol. The AT symbol is actually for create instance variables. For example, I'm creating an instance variable using the AT symbol, but we will learn about this later on, so don't worry about it. You just know that we can use at symbols for name variables, and we can use $sign and underscores. That's it. If you use, for example, a numeral, you will see an error. Well, not an error, because numeral is for create comments within the code, so we can't use symbols like these nor percentages, anything of that. We can only use the symbols I already told you. And the last rule is the camel case standard. This means join. If your variable name is composed of different words, we join them using a capital letter. So let's say variable 1. So this is camel case, because I'm joining two words, one and variable, with a capital letter, so I can notice that. So that's the last rule. We advise you to name variables with descriptive names. So if you're working with a team, they will understand the purpose of the variable or its function easier. If you, for example, name variables like this, Q or I, well, that's not very descriptive. Now let's talk about variable values. As you already know, one of the values a variable can contain is a string. String, same as we saw with Ruby, in CoffeeScript, strings are also created using quotes. So a string is a series of characters within quote marks. Actually, in Ruby you can create strings in different ways, but in CoffeeScript it's only with quote marks. So the example of string will be this. We can also use single quotes. Depending of you, if you use single quotes or double quotes, that change the rules when we want to interpolate. So that we will see that in a minute. So I can say, for example, I can save my name. Let's say I can save that in variable and say alert variable. Let's see how that works. Sorry. Okay, and we get back the pop-up window with the message. But there is a problem with single quotes. What happens if I want to create this string? She's amazing. You can see the text editor shows us that there is a problem here because we use single quotes for open and close the string. So there is a syntax error here. The easy solution to this is change, instead of use single quotes, use double quotes as well. So in this case we're creating the string right, and vice versa. If you need, for example, to use double quotes within your string, okay, as you can see here, we need to use double quotes in this string. This is a whole string, and it contains HTML markup, so that's why we need to use double quotes. So the easy solution will be to change this for single. Let's change the name of this for single quotes. Now, what happens if I also need to use double quotes and single quotes? So let's see, I need to write a string like this that contains double quotes and single quotes. That's a problem if I use any one of these. So the solution CoffeeScript gives us is to use backslash for define if you want to consider quotes and single and double quotes, normal characters within your string, you can use backslash, and then let's see what happened when we you can see here, well, in a pop-up window HTML markup does not have effect, so that's why we get back everything. But that's how this works. We can use this backslash for tell CoffeeScript avoid those quotes and use them as normal characters. Okay, so as you can remember, same as same as Ruby, we also have special characters. So for example, in Ruby we have the tab space, we also have the new line space, and we also can type a backslash within the string using double backslash. Let's see what we get back here, and as you can see, we get the spaces. These are the special characters in CoffeeScript and also in JavaScript. If you can see here, the JavaScript also recognizes this syntax. Well, the last topic we are going to talk about strings in this lesson will be the interpolation. In JavaScript, if you want to join different strings, so I'm going to say let's create two variables. If you want to join two variables, you have to use a plus sign. This is called concatenation. So this is not practical in some cases. In CoffeeScript, we have a different way of concatenate, or join strings. So we can create two strings and we can interpolate them. How we do interpolate? If you remember from the CoffeeScript, from the Ruby Basics course, we interpolated strings using this syntax. Do you remember? And something amazing, an amazing feature of CoffeeScript is that its syntax is very, very similar to Ruby. So we should feel familiar with this syntax. So as you can see, the interpolation in CoffeeScript is exact the same. We use the same syntax. So let's save again, and you can see we get both strings joined together using interpolation. So we learned in this lesson how to create variables in CoffeeScript, how to assign them values, how to name them, how to create strings, also about its special characters, and also how to interpolate strings. how to join strings together. And we saw something really special about CoffeeScript is that its syntax is very similar to the Ruby style. So that's a great feature. Mm, the next lesson, we're going to talk about how to capture users' input and more. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Bastionlandia, and also follow our organization called Race Karate, and follow us on Facebook. Also keep an eye on racekarate.com where you will find the transcript of this video, and of course subscribe to our channel. See you next lesson.